I feel like shit.
Monday, happy days. Wednesday, happy days.
It's just one of those
happy days. The weekend comes, the cycle runs.
It's just one of those days where you don't wanna wake up. Everything is everybody sucks. You don't really know why, but you wanna justify. When there's someone's head off, no human contact. And if you interact, your life is on contract. Your best bet is
Knock it off, you scum bucket.
it's just one of those days. It's just one of those.
Happy days.
It's just one of those.
Happy days.
It's just one of those
Happy
days.
The weekend comes, the cycle runs. Ready to extend.
It's just one of those days, feeling like a freight train. First one to complain, leaves with the bloodstain. Damn right, I'm a maniac. You better shoot, cause I'm fucking up your program. And if you're stuck up, you just locked up. Next in line to get fucked up. Your best bet is to stay away, motherfucker. It's just,
I'm losing my cool.
it's all about
Happy days.
It's just one of those,
Happy days.
it's just one of those
Happy
days.
The weekend comes, the cycle runs. Ready to extend.
I feel like shit. My suggestion is keep the distance. Right now I'm dangerous. Right now I'm dangerous.
Something's happening to the bonds.
My day keeps going this way and this way.
I'm gonna pop you one so you'll stop playing games.
Give me something free. Give me something free. I'm looking over like a chainsaw. A chainsaw. A motherfucking chainsaw.
What?
So come and get
There we go. Almost spoke while I was on mute. Right. Okay. Hello. It's me. It's your host for this evening, Chief Moody. Thank you once again for watching my live stream. Of course, it's not on Saturday at the moment. It's continuing on to be another Sunday. Hopefully, this week will be the last time it's going to be on the Sunday rather than on Saturday due to work commitments. So next week, I know I said this the last time, but more hopefully this week that next week is still going to be Saturday rather than Sunday. Again, it's all to do with like work commitments and whatnot. So anyway, let's have a look and see who's in the chat just now and see if anyone's there. Gammon Sandwich, hello, how you doing? Oh, Gammon, if you're watching the stream right now, I made you as a moderator. What I did was I just went on to the YouTube side of the live stream itself, clicked on your username, and then just add you as a moderator. So that's you and Jewel Citizen as a moderator for my channel now for live streaming. So there you go. That's fine. Let's see. Jose, hello, how you doing? Salad Rosenblatt, how you doing? Tune, and also reminds me of the Kumite. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because I used to watch the Kumite a lot before it became, cringy with the whole Tonkasaw, claiming to be, like a tough guy, but he was actually more like an internet tough guy. But less about that, the better. But yeah, that was from the Kumite days. But I decided, you know what, for my live streams, I'm just going to use that for my live stream in terms of the opening and whatnot. Rob D, Tidy, hello sir, how you doing? And lastly, Sparky1690, thank you for watching the stream. Good evening, Chief Moody and all in chat. Same to yourself, Sparky, thank you for watching. Right, so doing a live stream. Just like last week, I don't think tonight's stream will be long, like 2 hours long or anything like that at all. It's due to the fact of I'm still extremely tired after this past week of working, and of course now it really depends on the stream. Maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half at best, but we'll wait and see from there. Of course, Gammon seems loving the idea of becoming a moderator, which is good. But yeah. I also want to give a time to kind of give you guys a bit of an update on my channel, and it's not anything like bad or anything like that at all. I'm not going to go away or giving up or anything like that at all. I've decided, I've been thinking about this for a long while now for my channel, that, and maybe I might have talked about this with you guys before, but I'm thinking about doing more for my channel rather than talking about political stuff all the time, whether it's live streaming or whether it's to do with like separate single videos that gets uploaded randomly. Now that's also another thing I also want to mention. I do apologize that I don't upload as much content for the time being. I know I keep saying in the past, oh, don't worry, there's like videos in the works, they'll be coming out shortly, you know, la la la, and they never come out whatsoever. Again, it's all to do with like I'm very busy with work commitments, and of course that means I get very tired towards the end of the day. And all I want to do after my shift is just go home and just chill for the rest of the day, not focus on any politics or focus on YouTube or anything like that at all. Despite the fact YouTube is the only platform I tend to watch content on anyway, but again, just kind of get away from it after like a few hours. But that doesn't mean that I want to kind of get away from all of that. I still wanted to make political content here and there, but I've been thinking this for a while that I want to do a bit more. For example, in terms of live streaming, you'll still get your standard, the main, at least I would call it like your main show on a Saturday. So it's like Chief Moody Live on every Saturday at 6 p.m. or Sunday at 6 p.m., depending on if I'm working on a Saturday morning or whatnot. But I've also been thinking as well, besides that, maybe throughout the week, I don't have any specific days necessarily, whether it be, you know, Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. It might be completely random, but I'm thinking about also doing like a separate live stream that's kind of more like a let's play sort of aspect to it. So whether it be on my PS4 or maybe on my PC, I'll do a live stream of me just playing like just a random game just for the hell of it. I wasn't too sure maybe if that's something you guys would be interested or not. So, but with that, if you're interested in seeing more stuff like that, like more like a let's play side of things on my channel, then great, awesome. And if not, then you know that's totally fine with that in this case. The other thing I'm also thinking about doing is, again, besides doing all of that, is really the case. I want to do, well, it's been something I've been wanting to do for a long while now. Separate to the political stuff and also the Let's Play stuff and whatnot, I've also thinking about doing more like movie reviews, mainly because seeing the Film Club episodes for the past few weeks now, well, I would say a couple of months now, with the Patriarchal Alternative, when they review the Godfather, recently Schindler's List, and I think the film before that was what film was it again? It was The Godfather first, and then damn it, what was the other thing? Like it might come back to me, or maybe someone in the chat might draw my memory. But I do know it was The Godfather. That was their first episode, and then recently they did Schindler's List review. But what was the film in between that? Oh, it was American History X, the one that has Edward Norton in it. I know they talked about that before. So I was been watching those episodes, and it got me inspired to maybe do my own kind of film reviews for my channel. Because again, it was something I've been thinking about doing for a long while now. But now watching those, I'm thinking maybe it can be quite like a very fun idea to do something like that as well for my channel. In the meantime, so instead of just mainly just focusing on political stuff, I want to do more. More let's plays and also more film reviews. Again, if that's something you guys are interested in, you know, I might even do like a poll. If you follow me on Telegram, I can maybe do like a separate poll, or even on Twitter or Gab, like a poll asking, hey, here's my YouTube channel. If you're subscribed to me, would you guys be interested in seeing this type of content? You know, simple answers, yes or no. If you select yes, awesome. And if you select no, again, also awesome. It's entirely up to yourself with that in this case. I thought maybe instead of just doing, again, political stuff, because I think I might have also said this last week as well, that sometimes it can get a little bit tedious after a while. So again, just to kind of break the ice a little bit and maybe try and do something just a little bit different, for my channel and whatnot. But the cards are on the table for that, and maybe something might come out of it, maybe not, but who knows? But that's an idea to have in this case. What was the other thing I was going to mention? Because for tonight's stream, I don't know if I have any type of topics that I have to cover here, even though there has been some topics on the news for this past week I've heard about, but haven't really looked into it much lately. So maybe I can wait for the new stuff maybe next week or whatnot. But again, it's all because I've been working a lot, so I've been mostly focusing on that for the meantime. Whereas the new stuff, I've been trying to kind of look into that a bit more, but again, work was in the way. Been focusing on that. So. But let's see what's in the chat just now. So there might be something I might want to talk about maybe tonight in terms of newsworthy, because there might be. I think there was something that kind of caught my attention earlier on throughout this week, but I'm not too sure. If there's something that maybe I can have a look into with that, because I think it's kind of like a follow-up to like a news story I covered. I don't think it was last week. I think it was the week before, or maybe the week prior to that. I'm not sure. But I think the topic in this case is all to do with the rise in the with the Asian hate crimes happening in America. Because again, there seems to be more like an update case with that recently. And again, I'm not too sure if it's still in America, like specifically in, what was it, San Francisco, I think it said before, somewhere in California, with that. But but maybe I can have a look into that for this evening stream. But who knows? So, because there might be some other topics I might want to cover during the stream as well. Because like I mentioned, because again, I'm still a bit tired, so maybe I'm not too sure whether or not if I really want to kind of get into things at the moment because of work. But if there's stuff maybe you guys in the chat might want to kind of cover, maybe we can have a look into that as well. But because I mean, this past week with work, it's been really tiring. Like the first couple of days with work is actually not too bad. Like Monday is all right. Tuesday is okay as well. It isn't until you get to Wednesday, for me anyway, that the tiredness starts to come into play. And even on Friday, which is meant to be my last day, and then I'm off during the weekend and then back on Monday, that's when I just get a lot more tired after a while. So, but again, who knows with that. So, because even on a Saturday, like even though it's only just for 6 a.m. till 12, it's still a bit too much after that. So, which is why that explains I never do a stream on a Saturday, whether it's yesterday or even last week for that matter. Because I'm just extremely tired, and I thought, right, I won't do it tonight, but I'll do it the day after, of course, being tonight and whatnot. Let's see here. Just have a quick look at the chat. I think there's a few more people into the chat. I think some people are coming into the chat as well after watching Bonnie Lad's stream, which is good. For example, Tony here just got here from Bonnie Lad's stream after realizing I'm shy at history. No worries, but thank you for watching anyway. And there's also a familiar face as well. Face at Quit Sticks Productions. Hello, sir. How you doing? Well, you never answered my question. That's right. Sorry, dude. I keep forgetting to do that again because of stuff like going on in the background, like besides the internet. What I'll do is, Sticks, I'll have a look through the messages later on and I'll get back to you on that. Okay, it's just because I've been really busy with other stuff at the moment. So, but thank you for watching the stream as well. Like, really appreciate that. Let's see. Living Man, Not Dead Fiction. Have a good stream, folks. Off to have my dinner. That's no worries whatsoever. whatsoever. I keep forgetting this. Maybe Sunday. Like it just doesn't feel like a Sunday to me. But you know. Let me see here. 15 minutes into the stream. That's actually pretty decent with that. But I'm not too sure. Is there anything I can maybe talk about just now? Because like I said, like I know there's been many news stories happening this week. But again, I've just never really been focusing on that stuff lately. Oh, there's actually a bit of an update I want to give. Sorry, in terms of my channel. Last week's stream, which of course was fully completed and obviously on my channel, I've decided to private that stream. It's nothing anything major or anything like that at all. It's just because rewatching it recently, there was a couple of things I've noticed that were said from my part that shouldn't have been said in the stream. So it's just a case of just private that, maybe go back, have a further listen to it, and maybe do some editing if it's necessary to do so and whatnot. But it's privated at the moment. It might be back up with some minor edits, and if not, it will be completely back up with no edits or cuts or anything like that at all. So, but again, that's just me. So. That question. Let's see. I think you asked me that as well, Sticks. I'll ask you now. Where do LGBT people fit in your little ethno state, if not at all? That's a pretty good question, to be honest. If you want me to be honest regarding to that, well, I'll start off by saying when it comes to like an ethno state, I don't want the country to be an all-white nation. What I do want is Britain to be a white, what's the phrase? White majority country regarding to that. So I don't want to get rid of any like non-whites or anything like that at all. They can still live here if they want to, but I still want Britain to be a white majority country. Now, as with the question you asked about LGBT plus people, where do they fit within the ethno state? Man, that's actually a pretty good question. Yeah, even Gamma Sandwich, super majority. Yeah, that's what I was meaning to say, of course. But sorry, in regards to your question, Sticks, if you want me to be honest, I don't know if they would fit into the ethno scene or into the ethno state. I think they could work in terms of like civil partnerships, but then again, I'm not entirely too sure if maybe they would fit into an ethno state, mainly because of the way I see it when it comes to like marriage. And again, this is just only my opinion with this case here, is that I would want marriage to kind of go back to the traditional sense between a man and a woman. And in terms of like gay couples being like gays or lesbians or anything like that at all, I think it would maybe work best in terms of like civil partnerships, but I don't know whether or not it would work in terms of marriages with that sense. It's mainly because I think it was recently with that I've seen some kind of studies in terms of like domestic or anything like that at all. Tony Smith, LGBT doesn't fit with my Christian beliefs. I think maybe it's part of that, but for me, I'm not particularly religious myself. I would say I'm not like a Christian, nor am I like an atheist. I would say I'm more like agnostic. So I don't believe in a specific religion, but I'm kind of open to the idea with that. So I know there's could be some people like more religious than myself that would be completely against it. But again, what I said just now, that's just my overall opinion. And of course, I see Sticks in the chat. I'm gay, so go fuck yourself. Well, at the end of the day, Sticks, you asked me a question about that, and I'm just being brutally honest to you with that. That's just my honest to God opinion. If you don't like it, then I'm sorry. That's on you, mate. If you don't like it, then tough. I'm sorry. Like, what else do you want me to say with that? You know, you asked me that question. I'm finally answering that question. And of course, what a surprise, you seem to not like the answer with that. Again, that's my answer to that to you. I'm sorry that you don't like it, but that's just my belief in that in this case. So, let me see. Sal Rosenblatt. If only we had policies like Vietnam, etc., where you can move there but can't own businesses or property, etc. Natives first. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Sparky 1690. Tony Blair Foundation going to have big input into COVID-19 passport. This is madness. SAS still going ahead with that stuff. Jesus. The whole vaccine passports and that. I think that's what they're meant to be called. How is that going to work? I don't know, but alphabet nationalism, not a problem, but don't force it down my throat. FNAS or being thrown off tall buildings, you decide. Oof. Oh dear. Let's see. I'm not a Protestant Christian, but I believe in Christian values. Oh, that's fair, Tony. Yeah. Like I said, I don't believe in a particular religion at the moment, but I would say I'm more like agnostic. I don't know if Tony, if that's what yourself as well, like you're agnostic as well. Well, then again, you did say in the chat you believe in Christian values, whereas me, I don't at the moment believe in any particular religion, but I'm open to the idea of it, of course. Let's see. Sticks. I'm sorry, I don't want my rights being stripped away. Well, who's going to strip away your rights with that? To be honest with you, Sticks, I don't think your rights are going to be stripped away with anything like that. But again, that's just my opinion on that matter. I don't honestly think it's going to be stripped away in any way, shape, or form. Let me see. Typical leftist. It's all about them when it all boils down. Now, guys, let's not. Let's try to keep it as civil as we possibly can in this case. Let's try and keep it as civil. And even with that, let's move on to. Oh no, hold on. Let's see in the chat. John Enoch Powell MBE, even Chief in chat. Ethan John, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Right, cool. There was actually something else on my mind I wanted to kind of talk about. I did mention about my ideas for my channel in terms of Let's Plays and movie reviews and whatnot. So, like I said before, if you don't follow me on Telegram, I might also do the poll on Twitter or whatnot. Again, just to make sure if you guys are interested, would you be interested in seeing more of this stuff on my channel, yes or no, and so on and so forth. So I could possibly do that after the stream ends today. So when that will be, I don't know, but that poll will be up on either Telegram and or Twitter later on this evening. There was also another thing I was also going to say, kind of like an well, I don't want to keep saying update, but just a bit of a side thing when it comes to video uploads. I know I keep saying in the past that, I know I've mentioned this already, but I just want to mention this fully into the stream as well. Videos are definitely coming. I need to stop making any false promises when it comes to like videos and whatnot. Like I keep saying like, the video is coming, specifically on this type of day or month or anything like that at all. But it never really comes out. So, because I can't remember. Well, I'll just say for the sake of the stream, I've been speaking to fairly recently with Blue Monday, just a little chat about my channel and what should I do when it comes to video making and whatnot. And he suggested that I should do a lot more, not like script writing, but maybe do more like an outline of a particular topic. So, for example, in the future, if I want to maybe discuss about, say, just for sake of the point here, maybe demographics, just for an example, I shouldn't just like go on the stream or just do like a video or anything like that at all and just speak my heart out. Even though he says that's the type of person I am, I just speak from the heart. He suggested that the best thing to do is maybe just do like think about it like all the time, and then maybe just write some notes down on the things that you've been thinking about in terms of that particular topic. Because especially for a topic like, say, demographics, it's not like a very standard topic everyone should talk about. It's a very complex and very nuanced type of idea to go through, especially when it comes to the ethno-nat scene. So I think that's what I want to do in the future, and because even looking back on my older videos and older streams, they're not too bad, but in my opinion, I think maybe they can be thought out a bit better. So maybe in the future, or even throughout this week, I of course, I just want to maybe like just for this for the sake of it, just write down some notes or even have a more thorough think through it, rather than just kind of speak from the heart, that sort of thing. You see, because I think it would be make it a lot better in my opinion. So. Let me see. Solid Rosenblatt. If you're doing a Let's Play, it better be base games like New Vegas, or I'll hit you with a bag of tatties. Well, speaking of like base games or anything like that at all, I'm thinking about. I don't know if this would be considered to be like a base game, but there's one game I've been playing. Well, not at the moment now, but there was a game I've been playing quite a lot of times, called the Ghosts of Tsushima, where you can maybe make the argument that that's kind of more like not like a nationalist type of game, but you know what I mean in terms of like a foreign invader coming into the country, and then like the natives trying to get their country back and protecting their own people and their own nation. So maybe that could be an idea for like a live stream or anything like that at all. There was another idea I was wanting to do, not on my PS4, but maybe on my PC, Judge Dredd versus Death. But I've been trying my damnedest to maybe not do a live stream on that, but trying to do some recordings. But me being a bit of a boomer when it comes to kind of like not all technology, but some type of technology like recordings and whatnot. You can tell I'm not really like the complete master of anything like that at all. But I'll definitely have a look further into that and see. At some point, I could possibly do more with that in terms of Let's Plays and whatnot. And maybe also in terms of movie reviews, it could be also stuff like that as well in terms of like based films or even films that I think maybe kind of tie into what I'm covering just now in terms of political stuff and all of that. Again, it's just like an idea to kind of throw out there, but we'll see. We'll definitely see with that. So, let me see here. Just want to make sure with that in this case. Sticks. You view me as a second-class citizen. Don't sugarcoat it. I personally don't view you as a second-class citizen, right? I mean, I don't give a damn if you're like gay or not or anything like that. I honestly don't care. Okay, I don't. All right. Dear. People can do what they want as long as they don't try to indoctrinate kids with it. Let's see. Oh, no, I've read that one as well. Let's see more comments coming through. Solid Rosenblatt. I stole that from Blockbuster when I was at Bern. Stolen what? Sorry, is it the Judge Dredd game I mentioned, or like anything in particular? Because I remember that game, Judge Dredd. I think it was 2003. It came out. Because my granddad was wanting to buy like a PS2, and he got myself and all the other grandkids to ask, which games would they like to get for the PS2. So I think at the time that game was a bit more expensive than the other ones that came out. But it was something. But because at that point I watched the Sylvester Stallone film and I really liked the character, and I never realized that was like a new game that came out at the time. So I thought I just selected that, and he was like, okay. So even though it's technically meant to be his, but I kind of asked if I could borrow it for like a weekend or whatnot. And I just played the hell out of it. Absolutely loved that game. Found it on Steam. Was it? No, I think it was a couple of years back. Because with Steam, they got a lot of older games that I've been interested in, and of course managed to find Judge Dredd. I thought, whoa, that's a game I used to play a lot, so I definitely want to purchase that and play it again. So I've been playing it for a little bit. It's a bit weird with even Dread versus Death. It's a bit weird with keyboard and mouse because I've always been like a console peasant. It's only now I'm kind of like delving in more into like the PC stuff, but who knows? It's kind of like slowly but surely I've been getting more into the PC gaming stuff, but I'm still a bit like a console peasant myself. But Bunny Lad chat incoming, I would imagine. So I think his stream just ended. Let me just have a quick look here and see. He was doing like a stream. Oh, so he's still alive at the moment. I think there's people. Yeah, it's still alive, but I think you're right, Joel Citizen. I think more people are slowly but surely coming in, so that's fine. No worries. Looks like there's going to be more people watching. That's no worries whatsoever. Let me see here. Sparky 1690. LGBT, they have more rights than the straight white man. I wouldn't say just the LGBT community. I'd say other forms of minority groups like, blacks and women, or even non-whites for that matter. But let me see here. Most of the chat seems to be arguing about other chat members also with sticks with that. Again, guys, it's totally nothing wrong with debating or anything with that at all. Let's just try and keep it as civil as we possibly can with that. So no worries. Let me see. What was I also going to talk about? But maybe I can also have a look into that Asian hate crime stuff, because there was something more updates with that recently. If I can't really see anything. Spectator, no, what's that? Let me see. If there was a comment noticed, this one, I can maybe address this for Free Sticks. Why does it need to be a white majority? Why do you care? The reason why I care regarding to that for Britain, say for example, like Scotland, for example, to remain as a white majority, it's because throughout history, when it comes to this country, it's been an overwhelmingly white country. Now, I tend to want it to be remained as that. I don't want any more foreigners coming into the country or anything like that. Slowly but surely, possibly replacing the native people of this island. Now, the question I can ask, I think I can't remember who asked Sticks the question regarding. If I know, even Gammon Sandwich asked, "Would you ask Africans the same regarding their countries?" Well, it's a pretty good question regarding to that. So I definitely want Scotland or even Britain as a whole to be a white super majority. Yeah, again, I don't want any like as a completely all white nation. I definitely want it to be like a super majority of whites within the country, because again, throughout the year, especially in Scotland, it's always been like a white majority country. And that goes for any other country for that matter. Say, for example, Japan, for instance, right? Currently, and also throughout the years, Japan has always been a super Japanese majority country. And I even like Japan, or even like over here, I want Japan to be remained as a Japanese super majority. And that goes for any other states for that matter. Again, say like the continent of Africa, whether it's like Nigeria or anything like that at all, I want those countries to be remained as a supermajority races of those countries. But the problem is that you never see anything like that in those countries, but you're seeing a vast decrease of white population within the westernized countries, whether it be here or in America or any other places in Europe, is always the European countries that have been affected by this, and it needs to stop. And those countries need to be a super majority of white people within those countries. Because also another point with that is you'll never see anything like that in Japan or in Africa or anything like that at all. But we constantly see that happening with all these third worlders coming into the European states, or at least countries that have a people of European descent and whatnot. So that's why I care about in this case. Let's see. Oh, another a recognizable face, European housewife. Hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. It's quite surprising of you to be here. So that's really cool. So let's see. Obvious trolls, obvious. Nah. See, Sal, don't trust the troll chief. No, see, Styx is definitely not a troll. I've spoken to him in the past. He's definitely not a troll whatsoever. He's a guy with genuine questions to ask in this case. And I thought maybe just for the stream, I could definitely answer those questions in this case here with that. Because I think it's a good thing to have a bit of civil discourse or civil debate, whether it be left wing or right wing or anything like that at all. I can understand that maybe some people genuinely, would troll other people and whatnot, but for people like Styx, who I've spoken to him in the past, he's definitely not a troll. Again, it's a healthy thing to have that open dialogue and have that open conversation with each other. And I think English Sailor, even Chief Moody in chat. How you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. So yeah, I think a lot more. Oh, what's going on here? I don't know if that's. Can you guys still hear me? One second. I think also even Charlie Kenwright is on the chat as well. 1 second here. Is that my screen doing that, or where am I at? So my live stream screen is acting a bit funny. I just want to know, guys, can you still hear me just now? I'm not like roboting or anything like that at all. I just really want to know if I'm still, if you guys can still hear me or whatnot, just to make sure. Because I'm not sure if maybe. If my laptop is acting up, or maybe it's my Wi-Fi connection. But if it is, I'll definitely see if I can plug it. Oh yeah, sounds okay, right? That's fine. I don't know what's going on with the screen then. Maybe it's something like that. But yeah, everyone's saying loud and clear, audio is good, right? That's fine, no worries. If it does come up as kind of roboting or anything like that at all, or like kind of stop and then stop and record, like that, then please let me know and I'll see if I can get that sorted out here, because I don't have my Ethernet cable plugged in at the moment, so maybe it's doing okay now, but what was another thing I was going to mention? There was a video I was supposed to upload from a stream I did. I think it was a couple of weeks back. That's going to be uploaded either. I definitely do mean this when I say this. It's going to be possibly uploaded either tonight or tomorrow night, and maybe even throughout this week from Monday and onwards, before it gets to next weekend, whether it be Saturday or Sunday with the upcoming stream. I'll see if I can possibly do like a fun let's play type of live stream then. So. But again, it all depends on the poll I'll release later on throughout this week, or maybe even later on today, for that matter. Again, just in case. Let me see. Oh, there we go. That's better. Must have been to do something with the camera, but that's fine. No, I managed to get it working now. That's cool. The other thing I could maybe ask you guys in the chat. Again, I know I've already asked this in the past before, but if I hold on, I think it was a new subscriber came in. What Tyler 1381? Thank you for watching the stream, and also thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. Really do appreciate that, dude. Really do appreciate that. The other thing I was going to mention, another familiar face, Steve Cray. How you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. The other thing I was going to mention to you guys in the chat, and I know I've already expressed this before. I don't know if I did a poll on Telegram or whatnot, but I'm being totally serious by saying this, that I'm definitely wanting to maybe bring more people onto the stream, like getting guests and whatnot. So I think I might have a list here of the people's names, I should say, of who I want to bring on at some point in the future. Where is that notebook? Oh, there it is, right. Let me just see if I can find that page for a moment. Because some names I think I might need to take it off, because some of them are no longer part of the Ethnonet scene anymore. For example, I got names here like True K, Urba Durbar. I think he's still doing content, but it's now on Odyssey because he's no longer on YouTube anymore, which is a real shame in that. But you definitely subscribe to Urba Durbar on Odyssey in that in this case. Well, that's another thing to talk about. But I'll get into that just a second and focus on this part here. So names in terms of that, if I might need to take the first name off here, because the first name I got here in terms of potential people for interviews, or well, not interviews, but maybe just like a casual chat with on my channel, is someone Dangerfield. Now, I should definitely take that name off the list because I've heard recently that Dangerfield is no longer associating. Being part of the Ethnodat scene anymore, which I mean, I don't know what exactly happened there, but if he no longer wants to be part of that, then yeah, that's totally fine. But if because I think what I've heard before was that he is want to move away from the Ethnodat scene, but he wants to do his own thing, like maybe becoming an author or something like that. Which I mean, if that's the case, then maybe someone in the chat can correct me on that, but. Let's see. Danger, no, he went back on the smack. Oh, Jesus Christ, Dragon Energy. But maybe someone in the chat can correct me on that because I think that's what he was planning on doing other than YouTube. So he's closing down his streaming totally. I mean, when it comes to Dangerfield, if he wants to do that, that's totally fine with him. More power to him. In this case, I think he shouldn't be surprised if in the future, if people, might call him out when it comes to his past in terms of his like previous live streams and whatnot. Because again, wherever you put on the internet, it definitely stays on the internet. And let me see another familiar face. There's Bonnie Lad. How you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. That was I caught a little bit of your stream earlier on, your history quiz you did earlier today, which is pretty cool. He's doing a newsletter by email only. I see. Chief, we need to be fair. Dangerfield never claimed to be an ethna in the first place. Oh, that's fair. I just thought he was an ethna due to the fact that he was, he had the same kind of talking points with that, but okay, that's totally fair. So I'll just see if I can take care of that name off the list and no Dangerfield. So as I mentioned, in terms of the list here, so I got True K, Urba Durbar. I also got No White Guilt. I also got here Daughter of Albion. I think they still do. I know No White Guilt still making content here and there. Or Daughter of Albion. I know she's still around in this case. And funny enough, the other next person on the list I want to bring on the stream at some point is Bonnie Lad. So. Maybe we can set something up later on, so that'd be pretty cool. The other people on this list is a group of people I've got here next. After that is a TASOB, or the Absolute State of Britain, and of course, the members of that group are Ruffian, Native is Concerned, and Euro. So again, that could be another idea to have on the stream at some point. But I've been thinking, has there been any other people in particular that maybe you guys would be interested in having on? Because I think someone there just now, like English Sailor, is Morgoth on the list of the public space. Let me see if I can add his name on here now. So Morgoth, because I think a lot of people tend to actually do like Morgoth. So that's fine. I'll put his name on the list as well, just for a future stream. Let me see. So that's Morgoth. I'm thinking of adding on the list. I mean, I'll put both. One sec. Let's see. Mark Collette and also Laura Towler. Again, just for future appearances and whatnot. And even I can also add. Let's see. Cyborg. And also Blue Monday with, let me see here, with 300 Spartan. That actually got me another idea. No Chance and also Calamity. Hold on, 300 Spartan. It's fine. Yeah, so no chance as a featured guest at one point. Kill Matty. Perfect. So got a few people on the list here in terms of any future appearances. So that would be cool. From yes, Chief Moody, I loved that reaction you did the other week. If you want to do another one tonight, there was someone who had an over emotional response to a Lord Teller video. I can send a link. That would be a pretty decent idea. Yes. What to do is if you can send me the link in that just now, maybe that could be something we can have a look into the stream here. Because I like to see people completely spurting out when it comes to stuff like that. So yes, so please, yes. If you're still watching, please, if you could send that link in the description, or not description, sorry, in the chat here, and I could definitely have a look at that. We'll watch the video together and see from there. So that'd be really cool. Other than that, guys, let me just have a look and see. Oh, Tony, Way of the World would be good, but he doesn't do live streams. Well, I'll just throw his name on the list anyway, just in case. So, Way of the World. Oh, I know who. I can't believe I actually never thought of this. Members of Patriotic Talk. 1 second. So that would be, it would be Chris, Natty, and finally Charlie. Oh, that's another name, Jody K. Cool, that seems to be fine. So I've got a few more names on the list here. The only thing with that in this case, I don't know how exactly to ask him, because I don't want to just go on like a complete message board, just be like, hey, here's an idea. Would you guys, even Dragon Energy, Jodie, she did one of the greatest groups ever. Yeah, I got her name on the list here, so that's another idea. I can have another person I can bring on the stream at some point. I'm trying to think of exactly who else I want to have on. Let's see, Ronnie Cameron or Richard Leinhart. Josh, I know who Josh is. He recently did a very legendary, I think it's hike or walk or jog. It's something like that in this case, but it's a very great video. I'm pretty sure everyone in the chat has also watched that video, so that would be great. Durham Fox, you've got two great mods. Good call. Yeah, definitely. Joe Citizen and also Gamma Sandwich. They're my moderators for this stream and also for future streams later on. So that's really cool. Thank you very much, Durham. So let me just add Josh. And I'm not entirely too sure who Ronnie Cameron is, but I could definitely have a look into that further and see if see what that dude's like, and maybe I can figure something out with that. And also another recognizable face in the chat, Scottish Tam. Hello, sir. How you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Ronnie Cameron. Okay, just add that name here. Cool, that's fine. I'm sure more names will come up. Oh, I just figured out another name. I'm pretty sure, has anyone in the chat heard of a content creator by the name of The Golden One? So maybe that could be a good idea to have on The Golden One. Because I think that guy is maybe Swedish or something like that. But again, that could be another idea. Another name that popped up in my mind there just now. I just thought of him just now, but I can't remember. I forget the name. Bollocks. What's the guy's name? Every video he makes, he kind of does like a little sketch, but then after that he ends up saying hello, hello, hello. What's the name of that guy again? Is Dr. Edward something. Oh, what's his last name? I had it in my head as well. Golden One is Swedish, yes, all into fitness. Yeah, that dude, yeah, it's very he's very in shape. Edward Dutton, that's the name. Yeah, I'll add his name as well. Although it might be a bit intimidating to talk to Edward Dutton because I have watched his videos in the past, and yeah, the Jolly Heretic. That's the guy. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Canadian ethno nationalist Ronnie Cameron. Oh, it's Canadian. All right, I could definitely have a look into Ronnie Cameron, and again, I'll have a look into that as well. Edward Dutton. Perfect. Right, that's fine. So more names on the list there for future guests and whatnot. So that's cool. Let me see here. The golden biceps. And the gold one is great. I have watched a few of his videos in the past. Again, I can maybe watch more stuff here and there. Let's see. Jody went a wombling respect. White. Let's see here. Urban is another one to add. Totally sound blue. Yeah, I've already got his name on the list there, so that's something I can have a look into. Let's see. Budgie Burger. Bring on Hamza Youssef. I highly doubt that will never happen. But man, that would be amazing having even I know some of you guys might not like him, but Count Dankula, even just having anybody debating Hamza Youssef about this hate crime bill, I just want to see the questions being brought up and just see Hamza just completely just squirm, like, because there's no way he could possibly defend that. It's furious, but it's with an X, so Zurius, I think you pronounce that. Makes great fast wave music. Right, I want his name on the list. Hold on. I should have made it like a brand new page. Right, one sec. So that could replace Dangerfield, so that's fine. Zurius. Okay, so his name's on the list as well. Perfect. Let's see. OMFG, kids shouldn't even know about being gay or straight. They are kids. I take it's all to do with like the constant arguing about that as well. Yeah, I mean, all I can say with that is just let kids be kids. Don't let them engage in anything that's very, adult orientated like that. Just let kids enjoy their childhood and just be kids at the end of the day. But that's just me. Let me see here. The golden biceps. Edward Dutton. We talked about that as well. Okay. I wonder where the one's coming from. So one in the chat produces nothing but this. Yes, the Eunuch is always a good interview. I have watched a couple of their streams in the past, so again, I'll put the name on there as well. I don't want to sound like a dick when I'm asking this, but with Yiz, is the person who makes those streams or anything like that, is it a guy or a woman? Is like a southerner individual, but I'm not too sure whether or not if they're like a man or a woman. But I of course I don't mean to sound like a massive dick, asking that, but I just want to know just to make sure with that. But I'll add their name onto the list here as well. Let's see, Yes, the eunuch. I think that's how you pronounce that, eunuch, or I don't know, but who knows. But anyway, their name's on the list for that as well, so that's completely fine. Let's see. Dr. David Jute would be great. Might be a bit controversial, but yeah, let me just write that name as well. Okay, that's fine. Right. Have a look here and see. She's American, right? That. Yeah, let kids be kids. It's sick, but what's been done to them. Teaching gay people exist is not sexual. All right. There's a Muslim girl, Zubida. Oh, I know where this is going. I've heard of I know of Zubida. I've seen a couple of streams she did. I think Charlie was in some of those streams as well. She regularly has white nats on her Muslim channel. She's cool, open to our point of view. Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, I'll definitely consider that in this case, but I'm not too sure if maybe she's like open to the point of view. But if that's the case of bringing people like that on the stream, then that's pretty cool. Fair enough. But let me have a look and see if I can add a name here. So yeah, I definitely do know of Zubeda, but let's have a look here and see in the chat. Yes, is a wonderful woman. Oh, so it's a woman, right? That's fine. No worries. That's no worries with that whatsoever. So it's a she. Zubeda is anti-Brit nationalist. Okay. Zubeda is great. Yep, Charlie has been on. Definitely consider her. Let's see. Do you have nativist concern already on the list? I do, yeah. I have him on the list with other members like Ruffian and also Euro, because he's a member of TASOP, or the Absolute State of Britain. So I don't know whether or not if I maybe want to bring them on individually or have all three of them on as the group. So it's like, oh, tonight's guest we have members of of TASOP, or the Absolute State of Britain. Here's Ruffian, Native Concern, Euro, or maybe individually. I'm not entirely too sure, but it's something I can definitely consider with that, of course, in the future. But got quite a number of people on the list for future guests and whatnot. So I got that on here as well. Let me see if any more people. She's anti-Britnat, but at least Zubeda is honest. That's why I like her. No bullshit. Yeah, I could definitely see that. It's not like, say, people like the Sifnat movement, like Sargon or anything like that at all. Claim to be something, but then they completely denounce their principles when it's convenient. So I do agree with that point about Zubeda, that she's anti-Britnat, but at least she's honest about that. So. Let me see here. Sargon is the fucking one. Yeah, tell me about it. It's funny. Just before I get into that story, Tony Smith, James Goddard would be good. I actually cannot believe I don't have him on the list. Wait a minute, James Goddard. And again, whenever there's a time I bring any of these people on, it's not a case I want to do like a straight up interview. I want it to be kind of like a very laid back kind of like conversation, like whether it's stuff that we agree on or stuff we don't agree on. It just be like kind of like a. Again, I don't know what you guys in the chat might think of him, but like Joe Rogan, it's kind of like just have a laid back conversation between the two, and that's it. So that sort of thing. I don't want to come off in streams and just be like, so what do you think of the political state of the country? Or just like your standard interview. I want it to be just like a casual conversation, that sort of thing. So again, that's an idea for that. So James Goddard is on the list as well. But yeah, what I was about to say, just respond to Dragon Energy, Stargum is the absolute worst. Recently, I've been watching a lot of his past debates. So the debates he's done between, and I'm pretty sure everyone remembers these debates. I might have mentioned this in a previous stream before, but he did debates with Andrew Anglin. He also did a debate prior to that, or maybe after that. No, it was prior to that. Sorry, of him between. In fact, it was Sargon of Akkad, Styx Hexenhammer versus Richard Spencer, and then later on Millennial Woes came into the stream as well. I think JF Gierpe was in the stream as well, because I think it was hosted by Andy Worski at the time. So it was that infamous debate. I would say mostly between Sargon and of course Richard Spencer, because every time I watch those old debates, Sargon just tends to act more like an absolute prissy valley girl, which is absolutely embarrassing. And even just watching him now, I'm just thinking, God, like, why the hell did I ever support? Why did I ever support Sargon of Akkad to begin with? It was just embarrassing to watch him again. History Debunt is a great channel, although he was AWOL this week. Let me have a write his name with that as well. One sec. I think I've heard of that channel as well before, so maybe I'll have a look into that further. So Debunked, that's fine. Okay. Cool. Yeah, saw that Spencer demolished him when Spencer owned Sargon. Yeah, he absolutely demolished Sargon in that interview. And like I said, with that old debate, Sargon just acted like a massive valley girl, because there was even a point in that debate where Sargon asked Richard Spencer, "What are you gonna do? Censor me?" What an absolute fucking embarrassment that was. If I recall correctly, he resorts to leftist tactics. Well, see, that's the funny thing, isn't it? I love how someone like it's not just Sargon, by the way, but it's the majority of the Sitnat scene. Why is it that these are people that claim to be all for free speech, and they criticize SJWs, they criticize the left, and all this and that, but then when it comes to people on the Ethno-Nat scene or on the far right, then they tend to act like the very same people they claim to stand against or criticize or make fun of. You know, it really makes you think, doesn't it? Really makes you think. Let me see. Don't know how he dares show his face after America took him apart. Oh, I absolutely loved that. Jim completely destroyed Sargon, especially in that Killstream episode where there's separate videos, of course, in the past. It was between Mr. America versus Sargon. I think there's in 4 parts, but the 4th part of that video series is when I think it was during a time when the Killstream got taken off of YouTube, and I think Andy was going through a time where his channel was almost being taken off as well, and then it turns out that Sargon, with his fucking capos, if you will, decided to what was it? Decided to basically try and take Andy off of YouTube because Andy made fun of Sargon in the past or anything like that at all. So again, I find it funny how these are the same exact group of people that claim to be for free speech, but then will completely denounce their principles when it's completely convenient for them. Again, it really makes you think, doesn't it, with that? Don't invite Sargon on just write him a letter. I remember that. I think that was on what stream was that? Academic Agent, I think the guy's name was. And Sargon, No Chance talked about this as well, but Sargon. Here's Sargon's idea of trying to stop third worlders coming into Britain. Dear foreigner, please, I, Sargon of Akkad, do not want more of these foreigners coming into the country. Please either stay out or even respect the island. Sincerely, Sargon of Akkad. What an absolute embarrassment that was. Yeah, well, I know how to stop immigration. I'll just write them a letter. Jesus. And people still take him seriously after that. What an absolute embarrassment. Let's stop immigration, like the mass immigration, by just writing them a letter. Oh my god. Yeah, stream stopped going, right? That's fine. I think the reason why I'm saying the stream stopped going because for some reason it's come up as 3:43, but maybe that's just me. That's fine. Dragon Energy. Sargon has very low IQ, zero understanding of history. Well, there was a famous quote Richard Spencer said to Sargon, was like, you know, you think you're not as smart as you think you are, which again completely trashes Sargon in this case. Other people in the chat. 1 second. Alex Ryan, bad boy of nationalism, has been fighting for white indigenous people for most of his life. I think I've subscribed to him as well. Let me just add his name into the list as well with that. Because I think recent videos he did, he was criticizing Dangerfield not too long ago. So maybe that's someone I can also have in the future guest later on. So let me see. There's also another name people are mentioned in the chat for future guests. Scottish Tam, just don't ask History Debunked about the Liberty attack he shows for Israel. See. He's one of those nationalists, right? Okay. Dear. That's fine. Sargon is like a soy boy, total embarrassment. Horace would be good. Oh, fuck. I can't believe I'm forgetting Horace. Wait a minute. Just write his name as well. Horace. Cool. That's his name added on the list as well. I can't believe I almost forgot about Horace with that, but I've added his name on the list as well, so that's a good shout. Yes, Horace, smart guy. Definitely have him on. I'll definitely see what I can do with that. An academic agent. Yeah, academic agent. I'll write his name as well. I'm not entirely too sure about academic. I might have asked you guys in the chat before. I think he's not really a Civnat, nor is more like an Ethnonat, but he does touch upon some of the Ethnonat talking points, if I'm correct on that, but I'm not entirely too sure, but I could definitely see if I can have him on in a future stream and see from there. So just write his name on the list as well. Academic agent. That's fine. Cool. I've also noticed recently when it comes to Odyssey, which, by the way, you should definitely follow all your favorite content creators on there as well, odyssey.com. I think Odyssey as a platform, they're focusing on doing live streaming, because I remember seeing Laura Taylor on her Telegram mention about that not too long ago. So, yeah. So that'd be something that'd be pretty cool. If my channel gets yeeted or anyone else's channel get deleted off of YouTube, then hey, with Odyssey, plan on doing more live streaming. At least we'll definitely jump ship and move over to Odyssey at some point. Although you definitely should still follow us on Odyssey, whether it be myself or Urbaderber or Horace or anyone like that at all, because with the state of YouTube, it's only inevitable that we're all going to be gone away anyway. So definitely follow us all on that platform, because I think there's definitely going to be a very bright future for Odyssey as a platform. Because even if I've tried that bits here and there, it is something like a platform I definitely would consider people joining up. It seems like a pretty promising website. Yep, AA, just write the grooming gangs a letter. Great as well. He's good too. I wish I could stop everything by writing a letter. I think everyone wishes like that, to be honest. Sargon, when referencing the Welsh or Irish language, gibberish, he's an absolute fucking idiot. Well, he also tends to not like the Germans for whatever reason. Like, oh, these fucking Germans. I don't know what his problem with the German people, but let's see. Academic agent. Defo guy is smart. Iconoclast, defo try to get him on too. I think Iconoclast, didn't he isn't he kind of like taking like a long either he's stopping making content or he is he taking like a long break for a long while or something like that. But I remember he like made like a post recent on his Telegram saying he was going to be going away for a while. But he even got him a sandwich earlier on said in the chat, I wish the Iconoclast was still around. So maybe he's not around now, but maybe he might come back. I don't know, but who knows? I think it's a case of only time will tell. I definitely hope he comes back, but we just need to wait and see, really. So Tony Smith, Calamity would be good too. Yeah, I already got Calamity on my list as well, so that's another good idea for a future guest on the stream. Let's see here. What's also said? Spitfire nationalism. Let's see. Pseudonym Sargon would rather have Somalians than Germans. Effing retarded. Yeah, I really don't understand that, because even when I watched his debate with Andrew Anglin, his whole argument about why he doesn't like the idea of collectivism and why he doesn't like the idea of um, Britain becoming like a super white majority is because he doesn't want to get rid of the rights of the foreigners and whatnot. And it's like, but why the fuck do you give a why do you give a damn about the people who moved over here either legally or illegally? They're not British. They never will be British, and plus they themselves don't even want to integrate into our society. So why is it that you give a damn about those people, but not the very indigenous people of Britain, of your own country? Why don't you care about your own people? Yeah, it's like all those talking points like that. I'm just like. And even in his other videos, besides debating, where he makes a talking points about anti-whiteness and all of that, and why it's completely wrong and horrible, but then completely denounces ethno-nationalism. And it's like, well, why are you for this, but then completely against this? It's really, it's just it's absolutely irritating that Sargon hates the French too, as if it's a LARP. Fuck's sake, we love the French. Sure, they're annoying, but we don't hate them. Yeah, I'm on the same boat as that. I'm not a fan of the French myself, but I don't hate them as well. I mean, I'm sure the French is a very well culture with that. So, to be honest with you, with that, I would much prefer. I think it's pretty based when it comes to the French. Was it last year? When it comes to terror attacks, there seems to be like a rise of French nationalism, and they really want to do something with the Muslims coming into the French or into France. So I do. And again, not the biggest fan of the French, but I don't hate them all. Anyway, there's some pretty base things they have done. Dragon Energy. Yep, that Somalian argument came up. The guy's a fucking moron. Yeah, I mean. Just one quick point about Sargon, right? The only reason I can think of why, to this very day, why people tend to like Sargon of Akkad or Carl Benjamin, because I think he's just calling himself by his real name. Because doesn't he host like his own live streaming podcast called Lotus something? I can't remember the exact name of it. Hold on, let me just have a look at that. Because what I find funny about his new podcast is I think it's Lotus Eaters or something like that. I kind of find it funny how his own podcast has got like a symbol, like a star symbol, and it kind of looks like the Star of David, which again, that's pretty questionable. But Lotus, 1 second here. Yeah, the podcast of the Lotus Eater. So let me just quickly show you even guys in the chat, Lotus Eaters. So let me just show you the symbol for Lotus Eaters in here just now. And tell me if I'm looking way too deep into it, but does that in a way look like the Star of David or anything like that at all? Again, it really makes you think, doesn't it? It's a bit bizarre that, but again, maybe that's just me looking way too deep into it, but just a bit. It's a bit odd, isn't it? Really odd in this case. But anyway, I'll just come back onto that just now. Let me see. Budgie Burger, Earthling Carl. Anyway, let me see if I can add his name on the list as well. I'm not entirely too sure if he's a content creator or not, but again, that's another name I can write on the list as well. Earthling Carl. Let's see here. Because I think with Earthling Carl, he follows me on Gab. He tends to like all my posts I make on Gab, whether or not if I do make them or anything like that. So, John Davidson, Chief Moody, hi guys. John Davidson, hello John, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Dragon Energy, which do you want next door to you, French Nats or Somalians? For me, it's French Nats. Simple as. Yeah, I definitely would say French Nats. I would be much more comfortable having as next door neighbors than Somalians. So, let's see. Why don't the French vote Le Pen and FGS? Beats me. I really have no idea. Let me see here. Gamma sandwich. Give me the choice of a German and French neighbor or Somalis and Pakistanis. Yeah, I'm same boat with that. I would rather have German or French neighbors than Somalis or Pakistanis. But again, that's just me and maybe anyone else. There's a guy who calls himself Argon the Sad. Great name. See? Oh dear. Oops. Yeah, that's cool. That's fine. No worries. Okay, let's have a look at that here. Oh, Josh is in the chat. Hello, Josh. How you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Let me see here. And of course, I know I've already written a comment on your video about your recent walk or anything like that. Absolutely legendary stuff. And if you guys haven't watched the video, you should definitely check it out. Let me see if I could just post a link for that video here. 1 second. I'm pretty sure everyone has watched it, but just in case, let me see. 1 second here. The video that's called, should be in my likes here. 1 second. It is the video. Yeah, the White Dragon March. Yeah, that video. Absolutely legendary. That video is. Honestly, great work, man. Absolutely awesome stuff you did. Let me see here. What's also been said in the chat? Yep, it's a star of Davis symbology. Sargon is rably anti-German too. Yeah, you fucking German. Hound of Ulster. England has 100 years worth of anti-German propaganda bashed into them. I remember that. Yeah, in this case. Your choice lies Germans or French next door to you, or Somalians and Pakistanis. It's really simple. Under Sargon rule, it would be Somalis and Pakistanis living next to you. Of course, because for some odd reason, Sargon, as I mentioned before, Sargon prefers giving those people, foreigners, the right, because again, he's completely anti-collectivism, despite the fact he has a group of individuals. So you can see that's almost like a collective. But no, they're totally not a collective, guys. They're just individuals, not a collective of individuals or anything like that at all. Totally not ridiculous or anything like that at all in this case. Let's see here. Yeah, no worries, Josh. And also Joel Citizen here, Richard Lionheart. So, of course, that's Josh's channel there. So if you haven't subscribed to him, please subscribe to his channel as well. It'd be really awesome for you guys to do that. This is the chat here. Macaria Cad. Oh, dear. We've got that here. Only Somalis would have red lock. That would be under Sargon's rule. In order to come into Britain, you have to read Locke. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Oh, that was another thing that I don't think I finished saying this. But when it comes to Sargon of Akkad, right? Because I was going to mention something about why he's still so popular to this day, and then kind of went off in a bit of a tangent, off topic in a way. But I'll just see if I can finish this point off here. I think the only solid, concrete reason as to why Sargon of Akkad or Carl Benjamin, whatever the hell he calls himself nowadays, I think the reason why he is still popular to this very day is mainly because people who support him, whether especially if they're more like also content creators themselves, or just basically want to ride on his coattails. So whenever there's a point he does something completely messed up and gets deplatformed, then they'll just stab him in the back. I mean, hell, Sargon has done that in the past. He did it to Nicholas Fuentes earlier this year with the whole in America during January. I think it was a protest in the U.S. Capitol. So when that whole thing happened later on, Sargon completely threw Nicholas Fuentes under the bus. Regardless of what you think of Nick Fuentes, I don't particularly agree with everything he says. But the fact of the matter is that Sargon a guy who, again, claims to be a free speech absolutist and all of that, decides to throw Nick Fuentes under the bus just so that he can still maintain his presence on the internet, especially when it comes to YouTube. And that type of person I cannot stand on YouTube or anything like that. To me, that is nothing but absolute moral cowardice. Because at the end of the day, right, if you come on the internet, especially on YouTube or any other video platform, or even try to share your content on Twitter, Telegram, Facebook, or anything like that at all, well, I would definitely say recommend not going to the more mainstream sites, but that's beside the point. The point is, if you're going to become a content creator, right, especially if you're going on to making videos about politics in general, to me, it doesn't matter if you're left-wing or right-wing, far left or far right, or God help you, a filthy centrist. What matters is if you're going to make political videos, have some consistency of where you stand politically. Yes, there is an argument to be made that people may change their opinions over time. See, for me, for example, right, when I first started on YouTube back in 2018, I talked about this before, that before I became an ethnonap, I myself was a SIFNAP. I was more of a Sargon supporter. I supported Tommy Robinson. I supported what's his name again? Rebel Media and all those, like the alt-right, they used to be called back in the day. But now recently I've decided to become an ethnonap, mainly because of multiple reasons. The biggest reasons was mainly because of Black Lives Matter and what happened with all that shitstorm back in last year with the rioting and whatnot. And because the other major reason why I mostly became an ethnonap in this case, besides that, was because of the debate between Laura Towler and Ricky Dooland. And Ricky Dooland, of course, being a SIFNAT himself, and just the sheer pompous tactics he used. Like, I think there was a comment in that debate where he says, oh, well, there's a bit more like infighting within patriotic alternatives, so it doesn't matter anyway. All of that kind of snarky, cunty kind of remarks and all of that, that sort of thing. So I just decided I'm just becoming an ethnonap because it's something that I've been wanting to become for a long while. And for the SIFNATs, they're based, as I mentioned before during the stream, they're basically liberals who just happen to not like Muslims. That's it. They're no different than Anita Sarkeesian. They're no different than Brianna Wu. They're no different than any of the SJW leftist commie douchebags you may know, like Vosh or anyone like that at all. They're no different. They're basically two sides of the same coin in this case. But just to kind of finish off my point, if you're going to come on the internet, making content, whatever, doing politics, have some consistency with your viewpoints. Yes, you may change your viewpoints later on in life, but at least have some consistency. Don't be like Sargon of Akkad or anyone from his ilk, claim to be something, but then completely abandon your principles when it becomes convenient. Because then it just makes you look like the biggest douchebag of them all. Like you're not really for what you stand for. You're not really being the very thing you claim to be. You're just basically being or showcasing yourself to be a massive huckster. And I can't stand people like that. It's the same thing that happened years back with. Again, I'm pretty sure you guys remember back in the day, Baked Alaska. That was to me like a prime example of that. Here was a guy who came on the internet, decided to become an ethnonap, oh, I'm all about, the JQ and, 1488 and all of that. We need to preserve the white race and all of that. Oh, by the way, and then, but then he moves over to California and he's like, oh, by the way, here's my Jewish manager. It's like that sort of thing. Like, honestly, Baked Alaska, and even to a certain extent, Ricky Doolan is a prime example of, if you want to become a content creator, this is what you don't do in this case. Watch Baked Alaska stuff or Ricky Doolan stuff, do the opposite of that, and you'll be fine. That sort of thing. But that's my little mini rant when it comes to that in this case. In fact, even Gamma Sandwich perfectly sums it up here. Sargon is a free speech absolutist for himself. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. That sentence right there perfectly sums up Sargon of Akkad. He's a free speech absolutist, but for himself. That's it. That's definitely him in a nutshell. Another case point here is paid subs. Yeah, that's possible with Sargon. I mean, everyone. I think it was it Gammon or someone else in the chat mentioned about the debate between Sargon and Mr. Metacart. See, this has turned out to be like an anti-Sargon stream later on this evening. Oh dear. But hey, though, this is a very good topic to talk about in this case, because those are the type of people I can't stand for the life of me. Let me see. I would prefer flesh-eating zombies to Muslims. Oh dear. Hey John, your Friday stream was pure magic. Good blether. Oh, it is hold on one sec. John, I think that's John. Hold on one sec. John Davidson. I'm assuming, John, you're a content creator, because if so, I'll definitely have a check through your content as well, but let's see from there. Let me see what else has been said in the chat as well. Let's see. Oh yeah, here we go. Many boomers will only allow themselves to be red pill up to the level of Sargon. Yeah, that's a sad fact about it. So all these people claim to be, they're for, I'm all red pilled, yeah, fuck the liberals and commies and whatnot. But then, but so to them, you're right. They stop when it gets to like a certain point. When it gets to stuff like the JQ or the 1488 or anything like that at all, that's when they're like, oh, well, hold on, I'm conservative, I'm red pill, but I don't want to be that red pill, and I don't want to be having complete truth bombs like that sort of nature, that kind of thing. That's definitely a good point. Dragon Energy, base Somalians into Locke and Adam Smith. That's Sargon's philosophy, utterly idiotic. Being an ethnic since birth, I'm Irish. It's natural for us, absolutely. Dylan is Irish too. Both parents, he needs to fuck off. That's absolutely true. He does seem to hold himself in high regard. The world should write him a letter. That letter thing, that's never gonna get put down. Of course, it never should be, because it's an absolute embarrassing idea of Sargon making that point in academic agent stream. just write these foreigners a letter. That will stop them from invading Britain. Oh my god. Let me see. Dylan versus Laura was embarrassing. Irish guy telling an English girl off about English nationalism. Wanted to deport the fucker myself. Oh dear. Sadly, I think I agree. 1 second here. Here we go. The Blethering Pensioner. Right. 1 second here. I'll just write that name as well. Let's see where to write that. But if you mentioned that just now, John, the Blethering Pensioner. I think I've heard of that name before, but I'll definitely have a look at that further. Because I might have watched your content maybe before in the past, but I'll definitely have a look at that further and see from there. So let me just write that down. The Blethering Pensioner. Right, that's fine. Cool. Perfect. Let's see. So let me just have a quick look and see what time it is. 1 second. 7:30. Holy crap! All right. Well, that's pretty decent for time-wise. Cool. Let me just have a look and see here. As soon as someone mentions helicopter rise, they go nuts. Oh dear. Citizen, Chief Moody, my views are certainly ethnic aligned, but I wouldn't identify such under such a label simply because most of the public don't understand ethnicity. Your thoughts? I could definitely see where you're coming from with that. I think it's only a matter of time. But I think people are slowly but surely are becoming more accustomed to the idea of ethno-nationalism. Maybe not necessarily now at the moment, but due to the fact of the stigma when it comes to ethno-nationalism, because as soon as people hear the term ethno-nationalism, they seem to think, oh, well, that must be to do with racism and whatnot. So I think That's actually a pretty good question, actually. I think what I'll say on the matter with that in this case, uh, my views are very same as yours, Chill Citizen. I'm very much certainly aligned when it comes to ethnic views and talking points and all of that. In terms of the idea, simply because most of the public don't, or don't want to, but I wouldn't identify under such a label. See, I think with that in this case, regarding to that, I think it's a good thing to maybe embrace that in this case. So for me, I don't know about anyone else, but I would just call myself an ethno-nationalist because I definitely want to preserve Britain to be a white supermajority, and I think that's a perfect description of that. An ethnic national, or sorry, ethno-nationalist. So, but I can definitely understand where you're coming from with that point, Joel. I definitely understand that point. But for me, I think it's a good idea. Just really just embrace it. That's what it is in this case. But again, that's just my opinion with that, of course. Rob D, going above Sargon level scares many. Look at this COVID faff. Many don't want to see, admit that sinister things may be afoot. Yes, that's actually a very good point there, Rob D, because with this whole, I guess, I don't know if I'll just say a COVID thing that's going on just now. I think many people agree that there is something going on with something. I think it's been like a year has passed, and many people are just not really in favor of this whole thing anymore, but they don't want to speak out against it. They'd rather just follow the herd and just continue on as it is. And it's really sad that because you think after a year of this absolute BS, you think people are just completely tired of it now. But again, I think it's just a case of only time will tell. And I really don't want this. Well, it's going to be anyway, but becoming the new normal in this case. Joe Citizen also shared John Davidson's channel. So again, if you haven't subscribed to John Davidson or the Blether and Pensioner, there's his channel link there, and subscribe to him. That would be very ideal. Joe Citizen again. Chief Moody, I think economics is the path to pursuing our demographic aspirations. I could definitely see that too. Yeah, definitely. Dragon Energy, being ethnic should not be embarrassing if the Welsh say, yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. I think that was the point I was trying to make earlier on. Yeah, we definitely should not be embarrassed of the idea of being called an ethnic. Not to say that, people were saying that they're embarrassed to be called that, but I think it's definitely a good thing that with the views and talking points we have with ethnic nationalism, it definitely is a case of we should definitely embrace the term of ethno-nationalist, because that's definitely what it is. We should never be embarrassed with that whatsoever. Let me see here. Gamma sandwich. My only problem with ethno-nationalist as a term is it is redundant. Nationalists are ethnocentric. It goes hand in hand. I could definitely see that. I don't know if maybe that we could come up with like another term, but I could definitely see that point being made. Definitely. Dragon Energy, being ethnic should not be embarrassing. Oh no, if the Welsh disappear, they are gone forever, like forever. Yeah, again, that's a very valid point. Joe Citizen, oh my god, he actually called out the COVID BS channel down in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I mean, honestly, who cares at this point? Because it's not just me that thinks of that, but the COVID stuff. A lot of people in this country are just sick and tired of this whole COVID stuff. They would rather just have it all go back to normal. Because even in the papers I've read recently, there was this talks about, Boris Johnson talks about how there's going to be a third wave of COVID. Oh, you'll be prepared. And it's like how much longer are we going to have to go through this shit? But you think people again would maybe rise up to the occasion? I mean, there have been, of course, there's been recent protests about that regarding to that, but I think more people should definitely get involved in that. Definitely, we have so many ethnic groups: Cornish, Isle of Man, Scots, Gaelic, Welsh. I normally say I'm a nationalist, and that's a fair point. Yeah, if people don't want to call us an ethno-nationalist, yeah. I could definitely see people within our side just call themselves nationalists. Definitely, of course, you will get the Sevnats who call themselves nationalists, but then say to us, "Well, you people are not really nationalists," or something along those lines. But no, I could definitely see that as well. If they don't want to be called ethno nationalists, they just simply call themselves nationalists. Which again, I could definitely see that point as well being made. If people call themselves that term. Hound, don't get me started. It's a huge betrayal. Oh, I guess it's responding to. Oh yeah, that's fine. Hound All Star, that's fine. Let me see. Dave Collin has 100,000 subs on BitChute now. I've heard of that. I think that happened quite a long while ago, a couple of months back or anything like that. But no, I'm happy for him that he's got so many followers on BitChute. Although BitChute, I'm pretty a bit kind of cautious about. But with that being said, that would be the reason why I think Odyssey is going to be the next. Well, I don't want to go on and saying that it's going to be the next big channel, but I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Odyssey will be. I would say maybe not as big as YouTube, but it definitely will be much better than BitTube. But hopefully that will be the case later on. So let me see. COVID fatigue is definitely a thing. Oh yeah, definitely. I think I've even had some conversations with people at work that they're just sick and tired of the whole COVID stuff, because in my work, we all day, every day from Monday through Friday, we have to all, well, except if you're going out having a cigarette break or whatnot, you have to wear your mask all across the warehouse facility. And I'm pretty sure it's probably similar in your workplaces, right? Like that at all, where it's like no matter what, you must wear a mask at all times, and that is just something I can't stand for the life of me. But Scottish Town, we should have Indigenous rights. We get being pushed. We Scots are already ethnic minorities. Yeah, I definitely agree with that, dude. Definitely agree with that. And then, of course, you get someone like Hamza Youssef claiming to be Scottish, despite the fact he's a Pakistani man who's not Scottish, who never will be Scottish. But what can you do in that in this case? John Enoch, the problems we face are bigger than how we term ourselves. No, that's a fair point. Definitely, I think the terminology, it shouldn't be like a big issue in this case. No, you're right, John. The terminology shouldn't be a big factor, but what's important is that we actually deal with the issues and not terminology or anything like that at all. So I think when it comes to the whole terminology thing, it's really up to the person. If they want to call themselves ethno-nationalist, great, awesome. Or if they rather just call themselves nationalist, again, great and awesome. You know, more power to them in this case. So, but no, it's definitely a good point there, John. Definitely. From John Davidson. At 74 years old, I've been saying nationalist for a long time now. Oof, it's quite a long time in this case, definitely. I just say nationalist as opposed to globalist. Yeah, I think in that, I would definitely say, I would definitely call myself a nationalist rather than a globalist any day, but that's just me. And I'm pretty much everyone else in the chat. Oops, don't know Fox. Hold on. Anybody know anything about Jakes? Is that Jakes as in what was his name again? I used to watch his content before I even became an ethnonet myself, or even just starting to get into the movement. Jakes as in what's his name? Jakes and it's not Jakes and T or anything like that at all. Ball. He was a nationalist, but he lived in Thailand or something like that. Jason Latte, yeah, High Tower said that, yeah, even Dragon Energy, yeah, Jason Latte. You know, I actually don't know what happened to that guy. He was around quite a lot. He did a few streams, but then it just kind of stopped and it just kind of like disappeared for a while. Although I have heard from No Chance that he is technically still around, but he's more pretty much no longer like a nationalist anymore, but he tends to make fun of the ethno-nat scene. But I don't know if that's definitely confirmed or anything like that at all. But you know, again, that's another person who left the movement in this case. But they make me wear a visor and work because I told them I'm exempt. Just waiting to be told I need the jab. And it's just only a matter of time when it comes to the whole jab situation. I haven't got myself a jab or anything like that, nor am I interested in getting a jab or anything like that at all. Not that in this case I'm an anti-vaxxer or anything like that at all, but I remember having a conversation with a guy I was traveling with up to Glasgow last week with PA Scotland. We were having a chat about the whole COVID stuff, especially when it comes to the jab situation. I mentioned to him, I just find it really funny how, when it comes to vaccinations and whatnot, again, not only an anti-vaxxer myself, but I find it really funny how they talk about the cold and the flu and all of that, and how it takes years of development when it comes to these vaccinations. But then when this brand new virus comes around and it becomes a global pandemic, all of a sudden within that same year or a year later, all of a sudden it's like, oh, by the way, folks, we got a vaccine for COVID. It's definitely going to save lives at this point. And it's like, wait a minute, so here's a new virus that came around and you already made a vaccine for that, but then when it comes to the cold and flu or anything like that at all, it will take years for development when it comes to the vaccinations for those diseases or viruses or whatnot. Again, something that really should make people think, but but hey, what could really be said more about that? So I say nationalist too, but then if you say nationalist in Ireland, it's normal. England is so fucked. They made it a swear word over here, which is nuts. It's not just bad in England, it's also bad in Scotland, because when it comes to Scottish National Party with Nicola Sturgeon, she was interviewed because, of course, to her, the term nationalist has been given such a negative connotation. And the only reason why that's the case with that is because someone like her made it a negative connotation to the term nationalist, which is why if she even said in that interview, if she was given the opportunity to change nationalist to something else, she definitely would do it. And again, the only reason, as I mentioned before, the only reason why that term nationalist has been given a negative connotation is because of someone like her made it a negative connotation. So, it's only her to blame in this case. Let me see here. Don't know if I also missed Jake's stream. He's good. Jake's in Latin. Yeah, Thailand. Nationalist in public. Not sock in private. Welsh guy lived in Thailand. Yeah, he's Welsh. I do know. I do know that. Yeah, lived in Thailand. Yeah. Chief Winnie, Jake's is a great guy. He's taking a break for now. Oh, right. Yeah. Maybe that's the case. He's taking a break, but I think it was as I said before, I think it was No Chance that said that Jake is back, but he's kind of making fun of the FMS scene. Again, I'm not too sure whether or not if that's a confirmation or not, but I hope it's a case he's definitely taking a break, but he's definitely will be coming back at some point. So again, it's the same thing with the whole iconoclast thing. It's a case of only time will tell with that, but definitely hope he comes back. So. When language is weaponized, one should be very particular about their armor and lexicon. Yep, definitely. Or Jag. Let's see. Tank the Lord Evening. No Jag for me either. That's good to hear, Tank. Thank you. Also, thank you for watching the stream as well. How the hell can you stop being ethna? Been one since I was a toddler. It's who you are. That's definitely a very good point. Been watching What's Her Face on YT. She's great. I don't know if I heard of that channel before, but let's just have any spaces for. Let's see what's her name. Let's see. Okay, so that's what's her. Oh no, sorry. What's her face? Sorry, not what's her name. What's her face? 1 second here. Face. Okay. Yeah, so what's her face? I've written that name on the notepad as well, so that's good. I think I also need to update my clock here on my laptop. Hold on 1 second. So it's not. I'll update that later. That's fine. That's the worst. Because I think my clock on my webcam, on the webcam, sorry, my laptop is an hour behind. But I'll definitely get that changed later on, so that's fine. American Girl, she's really good to me. I'll definitely check out What's Her Face later on. See from here. totally respect you, English Nas. Be proud. You've got a rich history. The English do have a very rich history. In fact, all of Britain have a very rich history. Scotland, England, Ireland, and also Welsh. A very strong history. Tomato, tomato. Let's see. It's like saying I'm no longer a boy. It's mental. Yeah, it's definitely crazy with that. Let's see. You can honestly be in that. Let's see. Cool. That's awesome. I don't know if there's anything else to really talk about because I think we're about, I think, like an hour and a half into the stream or almost 2 hours in, which I'm really surprised of. Because, like I said at the start of the stream, I was kind of expecting this to go on for an hour or an hour and a half at best, but it looks like we're over that. So, again, it really goes to show that it's been totally fun making the stream with this case here. I know it's not maybe like the most topical stream I did this evening because, of course, I mentioned I didn't have any news stories to cover this week, but I'll definitely make that up to you guys for next week's stream. But I really do enjoy the conversation of the chat here. I've interacted with you guys during the stream, which I thought was actually pretty fun. So. Oops, I forgot to light. No worries, Darnell. That's totally fine. Only just getting dark. Yeah, it's quite bizarre that. Yeah, it's getting a bit dark here as well. Great light ratio. Let me just have a check that real quick. Hold on. Let me see here. View on YouTube. Just mute myself here with the actual stream. Yeah, so that's actually pretty decent. So, yep, 40 likes to 1 dislike. Gee, I wonder who the 1 dislike is from. I think we all know who that dislike is from. Definitely think we all know who that is. Yeah, even Gamma said, oh, 1 dislike. I wonder who that was. Yeah, we all know who that was, but I think it's kind of funny he kind of like disappeared for a long while after that whole argument about his as sexuality and whatnot. Like because again, like he brings up with the same, and I love how earlier on, like I finally answered the question to him, but of course, as what a surprise, he didn't like the answer. He's like, "Well, go fuck yourself, Chief. I'm gay as well." First of all, I don't give a damn if you're gay or not, and second of all, what a surprise that you didn't like the answer. Well, that's tough titties with that. So, say hi to Quick Sticks Productions. Dear. But it's funny that, really funny that. So, but no, definitely a good ratio. I think I also gained a few more subscribers with that. So, but then that's pretty cool. I think 817 so far. So I'm very close to reaching 1,000 subs, which I'm really happy for. But that's gonna be really cool, and I'm believing that I'm definitely gonna hit 1,000 subs by this year. I'm very what's the word? Definitely believe in the idea that I'm going to reach 1,000 subs by this year with my channel. Hopefully, I don't get yeeted before then, but what's fingers crossed on that in this one that I do finally reach 1,000 subs on YouTube. So here's hoping with that in this case. So I just want to see very quickly with that. I want to thank you guys. I'm just going to end the stream here just now because I've not had dinner yet and I'm absolutely starving. So I'm going to see if I can get something just now for my dinner. But honestly, for this evening's stream, I really want to thank you guys so much for coming along and watching the stream for tonight. I really do appreciate that. And let's have a look here and see. Share a stream, Chief Moody. You'll get there. Yeah, well, hopefully I'll get there one day. Hopefully. So let me see. I'm just trying to figure out which song I want to end the stream with in terms of like outro music, whatnot. But no, it's been absolutely awesome tonight, guys. I really do appreciate that. So, and again, hopefully for next week, it's going to be Saturday and not Sunday. But again, it's just a case of only time. Just need to wait and see. But you'll definitely get an update from me on my Telegram. In fact, speaking of which, let me just quickly get that up here. Just get my Telegram chat here. One sec. Yeah, I think that'll be the one. Hopefully that might work there. Okay. So what I'll just do is, and everyone's saying thank you very much for that. No worries. Let me just put this here. What I've just put here, guys, is it's just this. It's the link for my Telegram group. So if you haven't followed me on Telegram yet, please do follow me on Telegram for now. Because at the moment I don't normally go on the Twitter anymore. I might use Gab here and there, but the other platform I'm tend to be using a lot more is Telegram. And I'll definitely update you guys in terms of future streams or videos or anything like that at all. So definitely, if you want to get more updates from myself, definitely follow me there. Let me see. I'm a new viewer, just sub. Good stuff, mate. Well, thank you very much for subscribing. How on the road? Do you appreciate that, sir? Thank you very much. Let me see here. Rob, the Chief Moody requires, can he? Let's work together. Yeah, let's definitely have a look at that further. So again, if you haven't followed me, Rob, you can follow me on Telegram, and maybe we can have a conversation about that later on. So that if you want, I'm definitely down for that. But really do appreciate the turnout tonight, guys. It's really been awesome. Just before, I'm about to say 7 o'clock, but it's actually before 8 o'clock here, so that's really good. Nice stream, lads. Thanks, everyone. Chief Moody, no worries, Gammon. And also, thank you all so much for watching the stream, and you're all very welcome for tonight's entertainment, if you will, for the stream. And I'm just still figuring out which song I want to end the stream on. Let me see here. No, maybe not that song. That might be copyright, actually. But let me see. Maybe. Yeah, maybe this one, because I haven't played or listened to that in a long while. Oh, I'm just going to pause that real quick. Pause. Yeah, there it goes. Pause now. That's fine. Right, that's cool. Awesome. Right, okay. So, cheers. Enjoy your scran. Thank you very much, Tank. It sure will. Thank you very much. You're very calm. How do you do it? Nice one. I don't know, Budgie. I really have no idea. I'm just maybe it's the case. I'm just a very laid back guy. But to be honest, I'm actually surprised that you would think I'm very calm when I'm actually. I tend to think of myself as a bit of a nervous wreck when it comes to these streams because it's very on the spot. But I'm happy to see that you think I'm a very calm person during the stream. So that's pretty awesome with that. Nice one. Let's see. I just realized the clocks have changed. It turned my clock back to September 1st, 1939. Dear. And night, everyone. Awesome. Well, with that being said, again, I know I keep saying this all the time, but I really do appreciate you guys. I appreciate the turnout with the stream just now. It's really been awesome entertaining you guys with this tonight's stream. What I'm just going to do is I'm going to play out a song for tonight's stream, and then that will be it. So again, really enjoy your guys' company, really enjoy the turnout tonight, and I wish you all the very best, and I hope you all take care and have a great week starting tomorrow, whatnot, and have the rest and enjoy the rest of your evening, of course. I'll just going to play the outro song just now, but this has been Chief Moody signing out, and I will see you all next time. Take care.
Sometimes young adolescents appear to enjoy utter uselessness.